Hey guys, it's Troy with DIY Home and Auto. Today's project is a track bar on a 99 Dodge Ram 1500 Sport with a 5.9 liter V8. The driver's side end of that is just super crazy loose. Show you that. This is bad enough. We gotta get this fixed before my truck tries to kill me. Alright, so the new track bar has arrived. Get that thing out of its packaging. Part number DS1413 for a 99 Dodge Ram 1500 Sport 4x4 with a 5.9 liter V8. I had the death wobble the other day. I hit a decent sized drainage grate on the freeway. We're doing construction down by my work and hit a nasty grate with that tire. And man, it started death wobble on me. I just about lost it. So I got up under there and saw how loose that was. Gotta get that fixed. Thanks, airplane. I live right in the flight path of an airplane, or of an airport, small airport. So I get these small flybys all the time. Sorry about that. I've got all my tools set out that I hope I'm gonna need. I always crawl down underneath my truck and end up needing just one more tool, so I have to get up and down and up and down and up and down over and over. So I've staged as many tools as I think I need for this project. Get that unboxed, unpackaged. Let's do it. So there's supposed to be a grease connector, grease fitting in there. The box was a little bit destroyed when it showed up. I'll bet that it fell out. I may be able to salvage the one off of the one that's on the truck now if I have to, but I have to get this fixed today, so. Alright, so that is the driver's side end of it's pretty close to the sway bar linkage, and behind your steering, that's their pitman arm. But that is the part that's really, really loose that I showed a minute ago. The lighting wasn't very good. Basically, to get that off, there's a cotter pin up in the castle nut. You got to take that cotter pin out, and then you can back that castle nut out, and then just use a tuning fork and a hammer to pound that out to get it out. So at the other end, it's just a simple nut and bolt, and then the thing just drops out. So use some elbow grease, pound it harder if you have to. Use a GBH, great big hammer. Let's get this off. So straighten out the far ends of the cotter pin so you can pull it out like this, and then back that castle nut all the way off. So that's a size 22, at least it is on this one that's on my truck. And once you pop it loose, unless it's really corroded, you should be able to just back it out with your fingers. And I can for a minute. Alright, ended. Oh, that's hilarious. I get like not even a 16th of a turn on it. But it's all it needed. Alright, castle nut is off. Now, if I can get that out of there with a hammer and a tuning fork, like that. Just whack it a couple times with the hammer, it should just drop right out of there. So here it is with the tuning fork wedged in there, and it's about halfway out. I probably had to whack that thing pretty hard with, I've got a little 3-pound sledge. I whacked it pretty good, oh, probably maybe 15 times. I had to tap it a couple times, maybe another 10 or so to get it started, and then I could kind of really get after it with the 15 hits to get it to that point. So I'm guessing another 5 hits and it'll drop out of there. It's fairly straightforward. Use your tuning fork, wedge it in there, and whack it until the thing drops out. Let me finish this up. And there it is, almost all the way out. Once I got my tuning fork wedged all the way in, I just pried up on it and it popped it the rest of the way out. I did have to whack it a good 10 or 15 more times to get it far enough in that it popped it loose, but not too difficult. Now that this side's loose, I'm going to get it out and let it hang down. Oh, not one-handed, I can't. Anyway, I'm going to get that side all the way out, and then we'll go down to the far end, what size socket we need for that one, and get that side loose. And I'll just kind of show you step by step, every step of the way. So you'll notice all the rust up under here. Thank you, Utah roads. We salt the roads here because of the Great Salt Lake. We have an ample supply of salt. We just kind of go for it. So if it even threatens snow, they throw salt out. Anyway, on this end, we need an 18 millimeter. Let me confirm that. Yep, 18 millimeter. And this has a nut on it that's got a flange so that it won't, you don't have to put a wrench on the back side. You should just be able to back that off and then just make sure you keep track of that nut with the flange on it, and I'll show you what that looks like. If it falls out, it might just stay in place, but let me back that out and we'll take a look at what it looks like. So that one was a little bit harder to get off. I basically had to hug the tire and pull the wrench toward me as opposed to trying to push it this way and up. I was afraid I'd slip and rack my knuckles. Everybody who's done anything with cars has done that. Oh, and look what just fell off. That's the nut with the flange on it I was talking about. When you put it back on, make sure you put the shiny side in so it goes on the same way. So flat like a washer. You can see the difference there. But just keep backing this out till it comes all the way out. There we go. Now the sway bar, or not sway bar, the track bar. Have to think NASCAR for a minute. I'm pulling into the pits. I got to make a track bar adjustment. Anyway, that's how I remember what I'm working on today. So I feel like I'm in the NASCAR pits. Anyway, the track bar should be loose now. I should just be able to kind of wedge it and pull it out of there. Let's get it out and take a closer look at what the problem is with this thing. All right, got the old one out. There's the new one. I'm going to show you what the problem is. Grease cap wasn't, it's nasty. Anyway, that is not supposed to be so loose to be able to do that. Not even a little bit. Let me show you on the new one. Yeah, I can't even move that one. I can't even make that one move. I'm sure I could if I really got after it. Yep, it barely moves. I'm into this thing about 20 minutes so far. It's a fairly simple fix. Pretty fast once you have all the tools that you need. And just like I said, when I got under there, I thought I had all the tools that I needed. I forgot my baby sledge. I had to get back up off the ground, walk to the front of the garage, grab the baby sledge, all the way back and lay down again. If I had a lift, I wouldn't have this problem, but I'm doing this with no power tools. I'm not using, I have an air compressor and I have all the air tools, but I'm not using them. I'm showing you how easy this is. You can do it yourself in your own driveway. This is probably going to take me maybe 40 minutes, and I'm actually filming. You could do this in a half hour easy without filming or anything. So link down below for the new part on Amazon for your Ram Gen 2 4x4. Let's get that part back on the truck. Let's do it. Alright, and there it is installed. You have to trust me on the other end, I suppose. It's pretty dark down at that end, but putting it in was actually easier than taking it out. I had to have my beautiful bride come out and get in the driver's side and turn the steering wheel and hold it. I believe she had to turn it towards the passenger side in order to get it to move enough to where it would line up. When I was trying to put it in, it was clear out here and it needed to be further in, so just turning the steering wheel changes the alignment just enough to where it could go up in. She held it, I pushed it up in. As she let go, it slid all the way up in, and I put the castle nut on it to secure it and then tightened it down. Got the cotter pin back in, and one last thing we need to do is get that grease fitting off of the old one and put it in there. I couldn't get it, well, It didn't come with the one that I ordered. I know it's supposed to be in there, but for whatever reason it wasn't in there. It just fell out during shipping or whatever. But anyway, let's get that old one out, put that in, grease the fitting. Make sure you always grease your fitting. Double check to make sure everything's tight. Be smart, don't do dumb stuff. Let's finish this up and take it for a test drive. Alright, and to get that grease fitting out of there, just using a 5/16 inch box end wrench. I already broke it loose, making sure that I had the right size so I didn't strip it because I only have one shot at this. But pull the old grease fitting out. I'm going to clean that thing up and then put it in the new one. Cleaned that up pretty good. Used some brake clean and just a blue shop rag. And now I'm going to thread it carefully into the bottom of that, and then throw some grease on it. Alright, grease fitting is back in there, and that does not need to be super tight. Don't put a lot of torque on that. You don't want to strip it out, and you don't want to cross thread it. You want to make sure that you get it in there. You really only have one shot at it, so make sure it gets in there right. Let's get her greased up. Alright, I still have my grease gun attached. I just wanted to show that you put enough grease in there to where it starts to bulge, but you don't want it to blow out. You want the seal to remain good and strong all the way around every one of those joints. If it breaks out and starts oozing out, then that's a weak point, and you'll just continue to lose grease over the life of the fitting, and it will not last nearly as long. So only put enough in there to make sure that it's bulging pretty good and it's got some in it, but you don't want it to break any of the seals. I'm going to put just a little more in there to top it off, and then let's go for a ride. Test drive. Cleaning up my tools, and that fell out of the plastic bag, so I just didn't look close enough. But it's too late, it's already on there. So the other ones were in decent enough shape. That's got a new cotter pin and the new grease fitting in it. It's all good, it's all back together. I'm not redoing it now. Let's take her for a spin, see how she does, see if it's any better. Well, I'm noticing two things. One is that I'm out of gas, if that'll ever focus. I'm out of gas. No big deal, just need to get some gas. But when I'm going straight, my steering wheel is turned about like that, so this is actually altering my alignment just enough to where it's a problem. But going straight down the road, my steering wheel is about a 1/16 off. But everything else feels super amazing. I'm just in a parking lot. There's a kind of a dip here in the middle. I don't have the clunk clunk anymore that I used to have when I would hit those bumps. Everything feels super tight. Yeah, sounds good, feels good. I'm gonna need an alignment though. But I've got other parts under there that are wearing that I'm gonna have to replace as well. So I might as well do those before I do an alignment. But anyway, let's get back home and talk about this. So that's how you change the track bar on a 99 Dodge Ram. It's actually a Gen 2, any of the Gen 2 models, and that'll be in the description and in the title of the video. But the track bar, it's fairly easy to replace. The symptoms that you have when you need to do this are a clunk clunk when you hit bumps and it flexes the tires in and out. So like a manhole cover, something that hits one tire but not the other. That's your telltale sign, and you'll probably hear the sound on the passenger side. That's where I was hearing mine. Towards the end, when it was really getting loose, I could feel it almost right underneath my feet, which is almost exactly where that is. But anyway, if you start hearing funky sounds, be sure and get those diagnosed. Turn that steering wheel side to side, have somebody turn it while you're underneath and peek up underneath and see what moves. And if anything is moving that shouldn't be moving, get that replaced. Don't do dumb stuff. I'll put links down below to the tools that I used for this project, as well as the part that you need to replace for this particular problem. If you use those links, I'm an affiliate on Amazon, so I get a little bit of a kickback, and that's Amazon's way of saying thank you for sending them business, and I appreciate your support. Helps my channel grow and helps me fund doing things like this to my own vehicle, so I really do appreciate it. Be sure and like and subscribe so you don't miss more videos. As you can see up under that truck, I've got more things to do. There's some steering components and those type of things that are loose. I need to get those replaced so that I can get an alignment and completely finish this project. This is Troy, DIY Home and Auto. Thanks.